Hello, this is wmpyr here to talk to you guys again a little bit in more detail about what I was talking about before with the more aggressive attack compared to the more defensive attacks. Okay, so we start with the angles of attack, and of course I can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5 attacks to the neck, which means each one of those attacks has the potential to kill. So it's very, very destructive. Now I could do the same angles of attack and do it to the arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay? Obviously not as devastating because when you go to the neck, like I said, each one of those strikes has the potential to kill. Right here on the arm, definitely not the same. So then why do we have this attack? And why do we have it on the arm? When you attack the arm like I did, that's defang the snake. So why is there 2? And the answer to that is very, very simple. Okay, the moment I do this, they could do the same thing to me. And that's a very important point to think about. All right, when I go for a primary target like the neck, they could also go to a primary target on me, and we can both end up dying or, severely, severely injured. So you got to think about that. And yeah, if you ignore that, you're just going to go and just train this stuff. Okay, you're going to do this and think it's super cool, and you might be like, no, well, that's why we do this, and we control the arm. And now we can go primary targets and go super lethal. Well, you better hope that if your techniques are like that, then you are controlling this arm and that you have a way to realistically test that out. And you better make sure that you do control this arm, because if you don't, then none of those techniques will work and you're right back to this, okay, where you're both going to die. So defang the snake comes in where it's still offensive, but look at how much space, look at how much I can get away. So even though I'm attacking, I'm able to not be here. So that is the benefit of defang the snake. It's safer. Now if I defang the snake, like I really want to chop off his arm, and I do it right here, you have to understand that this distance I'm putting myself in is the same as this distance. So then, if we end up trading, he's going for primary targets, I'm going for secondary targets, who has the advantage? I think it's a no-brainer that this is going to be a bad trade for me. So if you're defanging the snake like that, then I think you're misunderstanding the style, okay, misunderstanding the Filipino martial arts. So once again, we're going to be out here, boom, 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 and I disappear. Okay, much, much safer. It makes sense. So then the other thing is, well, if we have this kind of more defensive attack, it's still an attack, it's a counterattack, defang the snake, versus where he attacks me and I'm doing something much more defensive like this, where the attack comes and I just block it like this. Yes, this still has the potential to cut. So I could still defang the snake. It's possible. So his attack comes in and I just block it like this, right? I just block, 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 okay? Obviously not as offensive as this, okay? Not as offensive as that, but still has a small possibility to cut. If he's wearing a coat or something, it may not cut at all. Now, why are there 2 types of defang the snake then? And the reason is also very simple, is because for me to do this onto his arm, this means I'm able to see his attack, I'm able to see his arm, I'm able to move out of the way from, if he's holding a weapon, I'm able to move out of the way, I can counterattack it and make sure that I got the timing for that, and make sure that I'm safe and I'm out of there. So I need timing, I need to be able to see it, I need to be able to see the weapon, I need to be in a proper position. All those things need to come into play for that to work, because if not, we're right back to this. sometimes you're just not able to do that. The attack comes in suddenly, I'm hyperventilating, you know, things just happen out of nowhere because, you know, I'm distracted. A lot of things can happen. A lot of bad things can happen. So in that case, this is all I can muster. So then it gives me a more realistic defensive option there. But does that mean that I shouldn't practice this just because this is more realistic? No. You know, being able to defang the snake with a full-blown angles of attack is much stronger. So it does give me some good chances there. And also the same with this. Should I stop practicing this? Because if you think about it, this is just complete assault. If I just go like this to somebody, I am assaulting the person with the intent to kill. These moves are kill moves. So I still practice that, but the way to think about this is kind of like a simple way, kind of just to give you guys an idea, is if you think in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you have the mount position, right? So in the mount position, you could punch, and then you could do some submissions. They roll over, you take their back, so it's a great position. But if you get flipped over, you're now all of a sudden in the guard, and now you got to defend. So the mount position in BJJ is kind of like a heaven and hell. So if you're on top in the mount, it's heaven, but then you get flipped over into the guard, now you're kind of like in hell. So it's kind of risky. So then some sport jiu-jitsu guys prefer the top side position, where it's a lot safer. So top side is more like this, doing defang the snake onto the arm. Angles of attack right on the arm. You still got lots of attacks. You could attack the arm, and it's much safer for you than trying to go for this, where this can happen. But does that mean then that you should completely not train the mount, don't use it ever? No, because the mount gives you some very good opportunities. It's about knowing when and understanding its place in the big scheme of things, because the opponent could also do it to you. So the more you understand it, the better you'll be able to defend against it as well. So that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.